I'd rather shit myself in first class than admit I'm addicted to upgrades I can't feel anymore.
8 hours left before I'm broke, dumped, and selling my dignity behind a Wendy's for Wi-Fi.
And I'll drag him through a cactus orgy of broken glass to...
This is Jamie Heinrich, and in just 90 days, he went from $20 to over $35,000 a month, and now he's scaling to 7 figures.
I brought in 7,000 members in about 3.5 months, starting with 1 member and $20.
This isn't your average AI guru. No, he's using AI to create cinematic videos that make him thousands a month online, and he's showing others how to do it too.
This is something that can be done in 4 hours, whether you're a beginner or you're experienced.
Today, he breaks down how he built it and how even beginners are starting to use the same system to earn money online.
All right, everybody. We are here today with Jamie Heinrich, founder of AI filmmaking community on School. And I'm super excited to be interviewing him because I recently joined his community, and it is so awesome. I just can't wait to get in and talk more about it. Welcome, Jamie.
Nice to see you, Mike.
Yeah, nice to see you. So, I'm so excited because when I joined your community, you were hitting on all cylinders right away. It was AI, which is the hottest thing going, and you're teaching people how to make money. And I mean, well, those are the two big ones. How do we make money online? Oh, and you're making it fun. I mean,
making it fun.
The stuff that I'm seeing out of the group is just so fun. Everything is like so creative. So so I can't wait to get into this more. And my goal is to like ask some really good questions so people know if this is the right thing for them. So
sure.
And then maybe a little bit more about your background, how you got into it later.
Okay.
Let's see here. So for people that don't know you that are watching right now, they haven't heard of you, how would you describe what you're doing?
Yeah, that's a good question. What I'm doing is I'm creating films with AI. So I'm a filmmaker. So I create films. And I'm running these films on social media through advertising. And in the films, I'm asking people if they want to learn how to make these films, then they can join my community to learn how to make them. So I'm doing a lot of show and tell, and I'm not doing much teaching, not much theory. I just create, and then I show people how I created it, and I don't gatekeep, and I'm very direct and honest, and I keep it real and affordable, and it's and so that's the kind of the core of like what I'm doing. And now what it's become is a whole other animal, but that's what I stay focused on, is just continuing to create. And that's the best thing I can offer for value as well, is to just take action. And then if anyone has anything they want to see or any questions of how it was done or anything, I try to, I make a lot of effort to make things simple and clear and eliminate overwhelm, because that's the number one pain point that people have in AI right now, and the software and AI film and video and everything is overwhelm of tools. And so yeah, it's how to get people to the finish line and get creating and make anything they can imagine, whether you're a beginner or you're experienced. And with that leads to, the results of the power in channeling through video, obviously, and being able to create whatever it is you want now without a budget. So yeah, it's about the effectiveness of the video and of the creation that you're doing. It needs to retain and convert and be of use and be of value to the internet. Um, so yeah, I really focus on that, and that's where the human element comes into play as well, which is a big advocate of not chasing software and talking about software much either, just getting to the, utilizing it to connect and have a better messaging, better experience, and better entertainment. Yeah, and it's really fun to do, and I try to keep it fun and fast. So I just put that on repeat, and that's what I do. And the community now has formed into pretty robust, but it stays on that single track, and so
Yeah.
yeah,
I have, since I'm new to the community, I'm still making my first video using your tools, but I will say that so far I made it through the first part, and then I'm into uh the voiceover part.
yeah, the fun
And
stuff.
so
Yeah,
it's a little bit tricky there, but it's still, it seems super doable. And I'm not an AI guy. I'm just your average computer user, and it seems very doable. So,
yeah,
uh, yeah.
yeah, that's good. Um, yeah, it's good because I don't know. I have, 30. I'm 35 years into the film industry
Mm,
in my career, and so it's interesting to hear how somebody that just uses a computer and isn't, a filmmaker is able to like create. And I think that's where like 80% of the value is the fact that, you know, everybody has ideas, but like, how will you ever in your lifetime be able to, channel them through high quality, stories and movie making yourself without much less talent or a crew or a few $1 million and everything else that is involved,
right.
time as well. So this is something that can be done in 4 to 4 hours, and once you get better at it. But
Mhm.
yeah, and it's so powerful. So that's cool to
And
hear.
you started to hint on it, but it's like trying to, like, where you came from, like what inspired you to build the community, or like even inspired you to get into the biz.
Um, well, filmmaking. So I'll do a quick background. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'll do the short version. So when I knew I wanted to be a filmmaker when I was like 12, and I got a camera. I got like um, a at the time it was like regular 8 millimeter. This is like 1983 or so. And then when digital video first came out, anyways, I started making movies with all my friends and middle school and high school, and we'd go premieres. And then I started getting into action sports, and I was professionally snowboarding. And then I started making snowboard movies and traveling the world for a company called Volcom, and did most of their movies,
Mm.
as well as snowboarded for them. And that allowed me to travel the world, and did that from the age of 16 to about 25. And then I got into commercials, special effects, like the industry, making money uh, with filmmaking. Well, not yeah, I guess filmmaking, and then started my own motion graphics company, etc. So really heavy on the computer side of things.
Right.
And then I jumped ship out of that, and because my dream was to make a feature film. So
Mm.
um, I made a few hundred short films up to that point, and then I dove into my first feature. Um, Made it with no budget, uh, on purpose, because I figured you don't deserve a budget until you know what you're doing, or at least have experienced it. I didn't want to like just waste money. So, and I didn't really want to deal with getting it either. I had all the tools. I had I guess the talent to do it and the resources. So we made a feature. It was received really well. It went into distribution, won a bunch of film festivals. Did really well. Kind of went viral on the internet with it, with the trailer at least. Distributed it. Then I got an investor came and gave me uh, about $500,000 to make a few more films, um, and I really milked that. And I made 3 more features. and then put them into distribution on all the major platforms myself, and did it all, wrote, directed everything. And then, okay. And then since, I've really been, leaning into this, the Facebook marketing, because I'm looking for, like, how do we build an audience? I had an audience, but how do you now, marketing is so big in Hollywood. That is the majority of, like, these um, the way films are put together through these math machines, and that's why you watch what you watch, because it's a big math equation. How do we, spend 70 million, make 400 million or whatever, and the risks of that, but it's all done through calculations, and basically through AI, so anyways, with that said, I'm like, okay, well, what about, the marketing side of things? Did a lot of commercials, documentaries, just different works of art in short form, now that social media is, a thing, 10 years ago, and everything else, looking at different channels. And then found the power of e-commerce, and the power of Meta, and, working with their AI to, like, directly hit a demographic,
Right.
and build whatever you want for yourself. You don't need people, because you can spend on Meta and build a custom audience. You can build a cash machine. You just have to target and be precise and understand how that, their system works. So I did e-commerce, and I started with about $100, and and I ended up doing a few, two, three, or about three to about 4 million in revenue, spent about 2 to 3 million in ad spend of my own money, and really learned data, and learned, how all that worked. And this was during COVID. I couldn't do film production, so I quickly learned Meta, and working with that, and scaled up e-commerce. Just, probably made the most money I ever have outside of my film. What I really learned was the data. And so from there, I was just like, I really want a digital product. I coached a lot of people about e-commerce during COVID, when people that didn't have jobs, that did well because they could pay well for coaching and to learn a new trade.
Right.
So yeah, so that's where I was really like, okay, the power of putting $1 in and getting 3 back, and also doing good things with that data too, and building long term. So and then I was a filmmaker too, so I could make video ads, right? So I understood structure, screenplay, and all that.
Right.
Yeah. So then when AI, but I still had to make, I was limited to what I could make until AI video came. And then it was like, okay, wow, I can make anything I want now. There's no budget limitations, and I can do it on my laptop. Like, we're sitting right here in a coffee shop, and do it in 3 hours. I could build a Super Bowl ad.
How much power is needed these days? Can it be a laptop, like you use super high end, or
No, it's a good question. You actually can do it on a 8-year-old laptop, and it's just the same amount of power, because it's all server based.
Oh,
So
okay.
when you put a prompt in, it does all the rendering on the servers. It doesn't. Your computer doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's all server based. Yeah. So it's
That's
happening
cool.
in the cloud, right?
Right.
So it doesn't. I mean, I've had laptops, just old laptops that barely, you can open the browser. You can still put a prompt in, and it'll take just as long to get your render back as it would, this nice, MacBook Pro that I have here. It's the same. So yeah.
There's a couple things that came up that you were talking about, because I work with a lot with younger entrepreneurs, and so, and
Awesome.
I try to stress the value of coaching, because that was something that got me way ahead of my competition when I was young.
Yeah.
I almost went out of business, and I went and I hired a coach to help teach me what I needed to learn, which was sales at the time, and I ended up becoming just a really good salesperson, and that's how I ran my companies. But you mentioned coaching. I'm wondering, I know you're doing coaching. Have you ever hired a coach?
I have 100%. And that's why, um, that's what I give credit to, where I'm at right now. I mean, not all the credit, but talk about the difference between, when everyone thinks, well, you can just learn anything online. You have to understand that is completely wrong. Because what online does to you is it contaminates your brain, really. Like, you have only so much information you can retain. And if you're on YouTube and you're searching around online and you're watching the YouTube, and you're filling your brain with information that you need to then unlearn, because
Right.
what they're telling you is not how it works in the real world with real results. It's marketing. They're marketing you something. So even though you can pick up a lot of information, it can be very convoluted and very confusing, and you get stuck with decision fatigue, and it's a great way to stay stuck with too much information and not take action on anything. So the
Right.
best thing you can do is you go find somebody that is, I've always said this, the best thing you can do is you find somebody that you can prove that is doing results, whether you know them or not. And you can usually get in contact with most people, even if it's through somebody else. And what you do is you just offer them, you could say, hey, I want to give you $1,000 for a 1 hour Zoom call. And this is even if it's your last $1,000 that you have to your name. And
Yeah, that's how I did.
what that does is they will most likely, because of the offer, they will probably do the call for free. If they're, just say, well, you're that serious. Yeah, I'd love to give you information because you're serious and you're willing to pay for it. Or you just pay them, and you basically you just copy exactly what they tell you to do. And
Yeah. Don't
and
change it.
and no, and if you stay the hell out of the way, and I mean, it's modeling, but it's also a bit of copy and pasting too, and just trusting. And so the first coach I hired was that in e-commerce. At the time, I had done substantially well, and made a lot. I generated from $100, and I generated about 350,000 in 6 weeks, and right when COVID hit. And I was like, and then I had a processor freeze, and this and that, and they locked up 6 figures of the money, and I had to fulfill orders, whatever. So I was like, I had to find the best e-commerce guru, so to speak, out there. And then I came across a guy, and he said it's 10,000 for a month of coaching, and I just sold him the money instantly, and I got on the call the next day, and
Yeah.
I pretty much 5x my return on investment with him in the first 2 or 3 weeks. And then from there, that was my lesson of, like, just go to the source and
Yeah.
forget everything else that
Yeah, exactly.
and
So,
just do what they say. Yeah.
because I was for how it's worked for me is very similar. Where when I started my company, I almost went out of business because being really good at something is different than running a business around it. And so, it was like, oh, I really know how to do this, but how do I get the sales? Oh, wow, I didn't think of that. And so I went out and I hired this guy, and this was back when it was as much money as I would make in a week.
Hmm.
And or save for that was it was like $500, and he charged 500 an hour, but this was a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so uh,
That's equivalent.
so
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, he gave me the exact blueprint, and within weeks, I had sales, and everyone else thought I was going to be going out of business, I'd go in, I looked so young, they'd be like, "You own a machine shop?" So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm just a big fan of coaching, and that's why I like uh, these programs like yours. I'm not sure. Do you do some coaching, or it's more around teaching how to exactly do it through the videos, right?
No, I do. Well, in my other community, I have two communities. So there's an
Mhm.
entry level one, which is $5 a month, and then my premium community, which is 97 a month. And on that one, there's 3 calls a week with me.
Mm.
I do
Okay.
1 hour calls a week, different time zones. I
Right.
would love to do just one call, and keep it that way, but the problem is,
Mhm.
is I'm a big believer in having people in the diversity of having a worldwide group, because I love other culture, and and
Yeah.
just a diverse, which is why, with targeting, I can target whoever I want. I can just have people in New York City only that are just male come into have hundreds of thousands of people in the group, because you can precisely target on Meta, which, so you can custom design who you want in your community. But yeah, anyways, I do those calls, and then I do them in different time zones, so that's why I do uh, 3 a week. um,
Yeah.
right now. So yeah, I just answer questions, I'm not necessarily like, I'm all about the data. I don't put anything in my community that I haven't already like run data on. So I wouldn't say use this image style or use this soundtrack or this voice. I make these custom voices and to use, and I make sure that I've run and converted so many thousands of dollars through every element that I put in my community. I don't just put stuff up because I think it looks cool or because, oh, I like this style. You guys should try this. Like it's all data driven and science driven because I'm looking at my infrastructure of my community and thinking long term and going like, look, if everybody is getting results because I've given them the mechanics off of data, we're all such creatives that like the the bedrock needs to be science and data, and that way that keeps things secure. And so when people are using these elements, maybe something in these elements are helping drive conversions for them or get them success or views or virality or whatever kind of results they're after.
This question is a little bit more about. I'm curious because people I'm interviewing, and if people are young entrepreneurs and they're successful, um, I'm starting to find some threads that are common, like with parenting. I'm wondering how your parents, when you were young, supported you on your entrepreneurial path. Or it sounded like you probably started. Yeah. So if you could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I have 4 children as well, so I can tell you how I'm doing it.
Mm.
And my oldest is 19. So my parents were very um, well, they were just, I guess, they were extremely supportive in the sense that they didn't push me to college, and also like I really giving them credit of buying me a camera, and before that I would borrow cameras from my friends' parents. We always like, hey, let's check your parents' closet, see if they have a VHS camera. That's where we'd find them back in the 80s.
Right.
So and when my friends' parents had one, it was like the world was ours. We could make movies, or I could, and get all my
Yeah.
friends together. So and then my parents finally, I asked for one for Christmas, and was really surprised that I wasn't like, parents didn't have a lot of money, but definitely fortunate enough that they got me one, and then they were always very very supportive of my filmmaking. But I also I was able to do, I mean, I was making stuff constantly, and it was kind of a given that, they saw those results. And then by the time I was already traveling, and my first film I made when I was 16, I distributed, I was making money, like good money
Wow.
at 16, and traveling the world at 16. So it was rare. So for them, it was like, oh, well, what else are you going to do? Go get a real job? Like this is great, you know? Although back then, even my mom's beliefs were still a little bit like, well, at some point you're going to have to get a real job. It's like, even though I'm making 10x what in traveling, it's like, there's always that, just that's an old school upbringing, So,
Right.
and now I mean, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I, I have a negative, um, you know, I don't know. I really try to expand my kids' minds and say, I don't have a, how do I put it? I'm not going to say I have a negative like take on a real job, but I believe that like my kids now, as in their teenagers, they should be working real jobs to understand the difference. So they got to like go grind and go work for 15 an hour now is what it is, and go. My daughter's working at the beach. It's a great
Mm.
job, but so she's down there grinding all summer and helping kids at this camp, um
That's
and
great.
a lot of her friends are, yeah, it's a wealthy area here, and they all don't have jobs, and
Mm.
they get all their surfboards, and they just have every driver on their golf carts and whatever, and she's down there grinding and understanding the difference, but also telling me, Dad, I need to get a remote job. I need to learn this stuff. I need to learn AI. I need to do what you're doing. I want to travel the world and surf, and I want to go to my laptop and create. She's a an amazing talented artist. She's starting to make films herself. So anyways, I think there's the difference needs to be understood, but nowadays college is, I mean, I'm very against those systems and the debts and just like the amount. I mean, before it was like, what, look, you can just learn all this stuff online. You just go to
Yeah.
lynda.com or go to start taking these courses and whatnot. Now I
Right.
believe we're into the next stage of that. And it's like, it's just AI. It's like, just learn AI, like anything AI, you're just gonna, you have to, like, you don't, you're
Mhm.
either, you just have, like, I mean, I don't know. Personally, I'm like, just go learn AI. Dude. Don't even work. Like, get out there and do some labor, but then just focus on that because,
Yeah.
yeah. And so,
Well,
yeah, that's my
I
take on
know not everyone is built for computers and AI, and so there's other ways to do it. But you're right. If you can do it, that's the thing to do. And I was just going to say that what I've been noticing is people that are having early success, or actually the entrepreneurs that are really coming in and doing well, they started young and they have work experience young. I was watching an interview with one of the richest people from India, and he was saying the same thing. He said when he interviews people, he can tell if they're going to have an entrepreneurial spirit. He would ask them, "Well, when did you do your first job?" And if someone says, "Well, I had a lemonade stand when I was 7," he's like, "Okay, we've got hope here."
it.
Because he was just
Yeah.
talking about when you're young and the firing of your neurons and how they map out.
Hmm.
So I think that that means a lot for our kids. So when you're saying that your daughter is she's doing the grind, it's like that's what's needed, right? To grow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
uh,
Cause this is also what we're doing, what I'm doing is a grind. It's
mhm,
not, oh, there's AI and I caught a trend here and I'm blowing up a community. It's the opposite. It's what I do is when I started this community, it's a grind. I do the same thing every day. The first 2, 3 hours of my day are the same 7 days a week, whether I'm whatever condition I'm in, wherever I'm at. It's handwritten. I'm writing on my goals. I'm writing out all my KPIs. I'm
wow,
on there. I'm editing. I'm making new stuff. I'm pushing the envelope. I'm running the same boring, mundane reps
yeah,
that it takes to build a business. The only thing is, I've designed my business around me creating. So you can customize it now. I don't have to go get a sales team. I don't have to do these things because I can, I've designed a business where I can just create and then show people what I created. Then the way I feed that and feed my business is create more, and then I unlock new levels in what I'm doing, and as well as in my in the softwares and all the issues and little things that come up. But it is still it will always be like AI is not going to replace that grind to be successful. It's
mhm,
it's going to make lazy people lazier. It's going to make entrepreneurs or people that grind and understand that more powerful because now we just have these more powerful tools to work with. But if I put in 3 hours a day with all the AI tools, think of how far I can get compared to the person that says, well, I kind of have these tools now, I can lay back and just do 10 minutes a day. It's like, but I'm doing 3 hours. I mean, you guys, I mean, I know some of you are working 10 hours a day every day. I get that. Like, I've been there too. But right
mhm,
now I'm talking consistency with something successful, and a lot of other things going on in my life. I've a lot of things going on with 4 kids and everything else. So 3 hours to me is like consistent, and it's focused. And what I'm saying is like AI will enable a human being when you have that in your hands and you're the puppet master of it and you're grinding. You're going to get millions of light years ahead of somebody that's just kind of using it to search their grocery list or whatever they're doing, and not really like utilizing it with, even if they have good work ethic. So
yeah,
it's all going to come down to that resource, and that's why you see people like myself, one person business, that's scaling businesses into 7 figures, and not having even one partner or even really anybody involved. Like a lot of my family and friends don't even know about it because they don't need to. They don't have interest. So it's like with AI, we can target our own bubbles and we can build millions of people or dollars into that, and
Right.
and actually be around people that are actually have interest and have yeah, it's you got to think really expansive when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and so that kind of uh, triggers for me. I'm thinking about, are there certain traits or people that are coming in that you see uh, that will gravitate to this and they'll do well? Is there something you look for, or is it just people just got to try it?
Well, personally, I've custom designed my avatar for the community, and
Hmm.
that's all built into the frameworks of what they see and what they, I mean, to put it in an extreme, what they get hypnotized by when they go through the psychology breakdown structure of what happens in this film that they
Hmm.
watch. um, and within that, it's like if they've made it to the end, they've already committed to qualify to be in my community. And that's where you create enough friction to, so Meta can target and pull those people off the planet. And by the time they come in, they're already conditioned to be your type of person, and then they're going to receive the community a certain way. They're going to go in there and walk into Disneyland and go, everything is built for me.
Yeah.
This was amazing. And then they comment, this is amazing, it's so wonderful to be here. And and you wonder why. Well, why? How come like 60% of people aren't in there going, where's this? And I'm not sure about this place. And how did I end up here? And like, I don't know if this is good, and questioning things and whatever. It doesn't exist because when you're running a video and you have like 90 seconds to really like almost brainwash the system to finding that exact avatar. And this is how you should build any business. And I even say in the ads, like, don't click. If you're not this, like, I don't want you on my pixel. Like, I don't want
Mhm.
Facebook to learn bad traffic. I don't want it to retarget, engagers. I want it's specific to the type of person that I want in my community. And that's really, this is the sauce. This is how you um, build a business. Or it's like just like with the learning thing and the coaching thing that we talked about. Like if you go on YouTube, you're contaminating yourself with noise. You don't want to contaminate your list or your pixel or your customers that aren't going to be true customers. You're still going to get
Wow.
a percentage of them, right? You're going to have a 5% as maybe bad seeds, and they churn. It's actually 5.6%. That's what my churn is on my community. and
Wow. Wow.
and and for context, my community's got I brought in 7,000 members in about 3.5 months, starting with one member and $20. That's how I started
Wow.
the community. So it's
Yeah.
very like, and I have a 5.6% churn. And I'm not saying that to boast. I'm saying that to so that, like, this is the stuff I show in there, and it's
Right.
all a formula. It's not, hey, you're a
Yeah.
talented filmmaker, that you're really cool, I want to hang out and be in here. It's maybe there's that element on the surface, but that's not what's going to keep people's credit cards in the system. That's not what's going to like build a business. It comes down to the logistics of like the equation and the formula and the science, and and really AI. I mean, I built the whole thing off of AI, and that's how I get people through the door.
Yeah, I love that message because it's just repeating how clear you're being. I mean, you're making it. You couldn't be more clear than, this is the person I want, and I don't want someone to. I don't want you to click and mess up my algorithms. If and that's, if more people would think like that, that would be amazing, right? For any business,
Yeah,
because and I think Alex Hormozy was even talking about that, where someone had 1,000 people that were following them, but they were the right 1,000 people, and they
right.
were
They're your
making
true
really good
fans. Yeah,
money.
yeah. If you have 1,000 people that believe in you, your personal brand, you'll never have to, never have to work again, because you can always sell for your entire life anything to 1,000 people at a time, and there's enough money there that they're willing to pay based on like the average salary or whatever it is, and worldwide or whatever, that will where you can make a really good living off of that. So it's like a thousand true fans, and that's what I'm building here. Like really, to be honest with you, I'm building a personal brand. Yeah, I'm a filmmaker. Yeah, we got AI. Yeah, we have a system. Yes, people are getting results and they love it. But when you come through the door, it's this face, it's this hair, it's this personality, it's Jamie Heinrich. It's a personal brand. So if school falls off the planet or whatever, these systems, it's like, when you have people and you have people in your corner and relationships built, you can, I can transition into, really any kind of thing I'm currently interested in.
Right.
And people trust you. And so they're going to continue to give you $5 a month, or they'll continue to give you 5,000 a month, or, whatever it is that businesses you have once you have so many true fans. So I encourage people in the group too, to like set up schools, build personal brands now, because personal branding and data is the future for sure.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So can you share any transformations or some cool stuff that you've seen from people in the group?
One of my members, his name's Casey. So I have a system where you can come in and really quickly get set up with, where I give you all my project files and everything. You can dissect them for, say a film ad that brought you in and you really love it. Obviously you signed up, you said, I need to learn how to make this. This is amazing. So you get my project file, you open it up, you can dissect it, look at how it was built, learn it. You can, you can just take my course. Is very simple. It's under 20 minutes. It's 3 parts. It's as simple as it can be. I think it's definitely as simple as it's going to get in the AI filmmaking world right now, out of anything out there. And it shows you how to just build this. But you can just replace the first 6 seconds of my ad. And I call it a hook swap, because the hook is what gets people hooked in. And so if you change that, it makes the ad original, and then you can run it to Meta, and you can send people to, school implemented affiliates into their system,
Right.
which was huge. And that was about the time I started my community, and my brain went, this is amazing, right? So now I can build a flywheel system. And so with that, if you join, you get your own custom link. Your link gives you 50% of anybody you invite. So people can take their link, sends to my landing page, take my ad that they converted on, and learn, because it's not an MLM, it's learning how to do this. They swap the front end of it out to start with. That way they can get up and earning right away. So they swap the front end out, they run ad spend to it, and now they start converting and getting recurring monthly income off of the community that they're in, that they're learning from, that they're believing in, etc. So this guy, Casey, did that. He swapped a hook, started getting conversions, learned, grinded every day, learned to build his own ads, which always convert better. You can get some purchases and start, getting the blood in the water with using my ads and my, that system. And then he started making his ads, getting more conversions. And now he makes all kinds of different angles. He just loves doing it. And I've seen his stuff on Instagram and whatnot, and I get advertised it. It's to the community that he's a part of. But he's converted, I think as of today, he's gotten just about, I think it was like 1,964 conversions. So he's brought in almost 2,000 members of my 7,000 alone. Wow. He's one member, and he's brought in that. And you can imagine what his monthly recurring is right now on 50% of that, because you also get the upgrade. Like if someone upgrades to premium, you get half of that too. If they buy a one-off course that I sell in the community, all my members get half of that. So I've really invested. I think I'm sharing about almost 39% of my entire revenue for the community half of that goes back to the members. So
that's so cool.
Yeah. So Casey is just like, but he's like, the next guy down from him is like, 400, and then whatever. I just posted it today in the community. But yeah, so he's like a perfect example of like you can just make all your money right inside the community. You don't have to go start a business or do. And he's an affiliate guy, so he understands that. But most people,
Right.
they're not affiliate marketers, so I don't think that concept goes through. They're like, well, I can make it something for my own business or a client or get clients, or you can do whatever you want. But if you just
Yeah,
want to make
what's
money,
interesting for the people that I'm working with the young entrepreneurs and teaching them sales, because
Mhm.
sales is what kind of stimulated it for me. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, I can do that. And for me, it's the best job in the world, and I like connecting ideas. And so I love the idea of the way you've set up your business because I can bring in young entrepreneurs and teach them sales. And if they're into it and they love it, then I can introduce them to you
hmm
and they can grow a business, using if they're into AI and sales, it's just such a great combo.
it is. It's it's huge, and I'm doing the next the next portion of what I'm doing for my premium group is using these films to get customers for, eh, or clients, we should say, because you do it for customers, and people are like, well, I can do this for clients, and it works great for them, and I can make them for them. But the missing element is people are like, well, how do I get clients? How do I use this to get clients? And oh, I got to go pitch myself and show people what I can do. It's like, and that's the next thing I'm showing is like, no, that's not what you do. You do the opposite. What you do is you never pitch. Is you create value. So that's the next step. Is it's just go and create value, create something amazing, and what you do is you run that to like a lead form, and in that you say you sell the client in the ad, and then in the end you say, hey, do you want films like this for your business? I will
Right.
make you one. I'm your guy. And by the time they get to the end of it, it's just like, and it's also about like being in the driver's seat and saying like, don't click unless you're ready to, spend $5,000 on one of these, or 2,500, or wherever people start off at. But the whole idea is to put the power in people's hands, and have clients come to them. And
Yeah.
the way to do that is not, nobody wants to hear somebody knocking on someone's door and saying, I can do this for you. It's like, what you do is you go out and you just prove it, right? So those are the ads you run. You run an ad of the basically the results that you're going to give to your client. And when they see it and it works on them, and they think, wow, could be amazing for my business, the call to action is, would you like one of these videos for your business? Clearly it works. You're still here.
Yeah.
Contact me. So it's that simple. And I'm excited for it, because everyone's going to get, these lead forms are going to come in, and they're going to have 50 50 people after, can I hire you? And at that point, it's pick and choose. And I mean, we could go into that when it comes to working with clients and all that, and being on what side of the court you're on, and mutual appreciation and all that. But I really want to emphasize how easy it is to get clients, just as easy as it is to get customers for your own business. You just do the same thing. You just keep getting good at what you do.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like how you're explaining that. It's because that's a big thing. A lot of people that I'm training, they might work on something. They might be really good at what they do, but they're just terrified to knock on a door or talk to someone, or even answer the call. They don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And what's kind of cool about your system is the sales part of it that I teach would really complement them on their thinking of strategy. But it sounds like you teach that as well. But they're actually not really having to. Well, I guess there's still, when you put it out there, you still need to have conversation skills to close a deal if you're going to get customers that you're going to build for repeatedly. But
Yeah,
it sounds
there's a
like
little bit
sometimes
of
you
that.
don't even need that.
Not, I mean, we have AI now to also fill that gap for us. I mean,
It's
really,
true. Yeah,
you
it's
can
true.
have people just sell you, a deposit, and you do your thing, you deliver it, they sell you the rest, you move on to the next in line. And
Yeah.
there's conversation. Well, you can really have AI help you with conversation if you're not a conversation person. I mean, we don't sit together in person and have conversations anymore. Maybe you got to get on a Zoom and do it, but you can also, if you're that introverted, you don't need to be on. I mean, people will hire you for your work. You know, they
Right.
don't really care how you look or how you talk or whatever. I mean, some people do, but I would say I wouldn't work for those clients.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
customize, you need to custom avatar your client just as much as you do your customer or your audience. Like, and I learned that the hard way too, through the years of, you know, starting to work with clients where I'm like, I don't need to work for this client. Why am I putting myself through this pain? And it was like, oh, it's for the money. It's like, yeah, well, you know, you gotta change your outlook and go, let me just eliminate all this crap. And then I go and land one client that, you know, sets me up for a whole year of income. One client, and they're the best person in the world. They approve everything. I never talk to them. I do what I want. They hire me for me. Yeah. So that's a whole other like subject with the client thing. But like you said, you teach your guys, you know, the kids that want to do sales and whatnot, like they don't want, you know, a lot of people, they're good at something they don't want to sell, and they shouldn't. Like, why? They're not what they should be doing is what they're good at. So if some kid's good at mowing a lawn and he's fast and he does a great job, but he doesn't want to go knock on doors and ask if people want their lawn, you know? So what does he do? He should just give him the lawnmower and go have him mow the lawn. And then when the person comes out, they go, who did this? Like, can you come do it again? And then, you
Right. So
know, let them
what
do
he
what they're
needs
good
is
at.
he needs a buddy from your group that's going to make some cool ads that's going to drive.
Well, no, he's actually going to make his own ad that drives traffic, because that's what he's good
Ah,
at, right? People are good at making, they want to create videos. So they
right.
create the script. They create the script that goes after their custom avatar client that they want to work with. And that's what it's built for. And that's what it attracts. And then the client shows up
Mm.
with the deposit already. They know the amount, and there's never a conversation because it's built into the ad that they're running, into
So
the
and
video.
that's very targeted, makes very smart. People that have bricks and mortar, or let's say that the gardener, for an example,
Mhm.
if the gardener wants to grow his business, would it make sense for them? They're not going to get on a computer. Would it make sense for them to meet someone in your group, and someone in your group could run ads, make and draw it to them, or is that
Yeah.
not the best use of time?
Well, what would happen is like a gardener, you know, they don't like the computer, right? But you know what everybody loves? This right here.
Yeah,
Everybody. The gardener does too, because on his lunch break, he's in the corner doing this, you know,
right.
whatever he's doing. But he's right here. Everybody's right here. This
Yeah,
is recording our conversations right now. This is what it's recording our expressions through the camera. Everything's going to Meta. So you guys know everything's going to ChatGPT, everything, right? So when he's done and he has a conversation about, I'd like to pick up some more business, you know, and he's talking with his friend or he's talking with customers, and it's recording. And then what happens when he goes on Instagram? Here comes so and so's ad. That's like, you're the gardener and you're looking for more business, and
yeah.
you know, da 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 da, and this is you, and here's your pain points, and you're working all day but you'd like to hire more and work less, whatever, right? It's an AI ad that targets them directly. And then you know, click here and hire me, you know, $1,500, I will fill your books or whatever, you know. And so
Right.
what do they do? I mean, they click, and then they go, and then they get an ad made, and then now their books are full because, you know, someone in my group ran that ad to them. So that's how it works, right? They don't need to go out and learn AI and make their own ad. They're going to get the ad and they're going to get targeted. And that could go for anything. It could go for doctors. It could go for, you know, entrepreneurs. It can go. So right now I target AI filmmakers, like,
Right.
because I want to show people, I want to enable people what I'm able to do.
Right.
But if I want to just like have, you know, a clientele of entrepreneurs that make, you know, 20 million plus a year, I can fill a community with that. You know, so I can really collect whoever I want on this planet, and that's what I'm enabling people to understand and do for themselves. So it goes hand in hand with clients. It goes hand in hand with, like, if you're just a filmmaker and you want a particular type of audience, if you wrote a book, and you want to like have people, you know, you want to be a renowned author for that subject. I mean, if you're teaching sales and you want to bring in more, you want to teach more younger generations how to do sales, you will make a direct, you will just pick those younger human being, cherry pick
Yeah.
them off the planet right into your community. Like, and then they're right in front of you and they want to hear what you have to say. So, yeah.
And that's what your community teaches people. So if they were to sign up and they had aspirations like that, you're teaching that through your stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Like the low ticket group is how to make the stuff,
Right.
right? How to make it. And then I mean, it's not even high ticket. It's 97 a month. It's still low. I mean, considerably low ticket, right?
Right.
But anyways, I mean, because $5 extremely low ticket. But I consider it a community that is, you know, eliminates spam. I have credit card numbers for one clicks. That's what that community is. But it's also like there's no one in there for ill intentions and whatnot. It's very clean, very trusting community. No self promo, like dialed. Anyways,
Yeah.
the other community I'm teaching, well, I'm teaching, but I'm showing people how to convert. So the one is retention, because you got to get people to retain to make good videos, and it's AI can't do that. It doesn't create empathy. So you create films, real films with structure, creates empathy, people retain, and then in the other group, it's conversions, it's money, scaling. How much money do you want to make, and how much freedom do you want by making this, by being a creator with these skill sets and understanding psychology and what gets people to convert. And this is a huge value to learn. All these people and businesses that have great services and great products, and people need to know about them. And so this is a way to enable people in my group to create content that will, you know, provide value for people, to learn about these great services and products, and actually, you know, pay these businesses for the value that they have and
Right.
deserve to scale, you know, and get rid of
Yeah.
some, you know, I don't know, hopefully make the world better, right? Get rid of some of these franchises that have the market on the Slurpee cup and feeding the world crap, you know?
And it's really exciting what you're building. Is there is we I think we can kind of wrap it up here,
For
and
sure. Yeah.
it's been an hour, and I wanted to see is there anything that I didn't ask that you think you would like people to know?
Yeah. It's funny because this is my second podcast I've done ever in my life. So I appreciate it.
Mhm.
And I appreciate you having me on and being in the community. I know I want to know more about you. I know it sounds like you've had a huge success with everything you've done. Um, and it just really comes down to, um, you know, just being, this is like kind of not off subject, but the one thing I want to say is being intentional and being yourself, and being honest with yourself. Like, as an entrepreneur, as a creative, as just a human being in general, when you get honest with yourself, your world changes. You can do anything. Take responsibility for every single thing happening in your life at all moments. You created it. And if you do that, you watch how much watch how much control you have over your entire life into whatever you want to create, and just continue to like remind yourself that on the daily. Stay in the trenches, stay humble, and create. Just create. That's the
Yeah.
best thing you can do is create.
And I know we're going to put it below. We'll put it in the comments. But do you want to just tell people how they can reach you?
Yeah, if you can just go on Google and just type AI filmmaking and search it, and you'll see my. I right now I'm pretty much in the first page in the search results, my community. So that's
And
probably
there,
the
oh,
easiest way.
there is one question I forgot to ask. I'll try to sneak it in here, and that is a lot of the young entrepreneurs I'm working with. They have like this magic number of they want to make 10 grand a month, 100 grand a year or so, and it sounds like this is super realistic that they can do this in your community. And what do you think is a realistic, if they apply themselves, be a realistic amount of time that it would take to do something like that?
So do something like what exactly? What is
Like
the goal?
be able to earn like 10,000 a month.
Um, okay. Um, I show. Okay, so yeah, this is a great question. I design my community as a flywheel to as an AI experiment to create the things that I'm creating is basically the things that I'm creating, the things that I'm creating, and that's all I'm doing is show and tell. So when you
Right.
the ad was built that way, it says you watched this, it works. Do you want to learn how to do this? Come do
Mm,
it. You learn how to do it. You send people into so it's designed to basically like create a community on your own, build the same ads, the same intention, earn monthly recurring. You can do it in my community. You can create your own community and do it, or you can
right.
create your own business or e-commerce, whatever it is. Right. So you want to make a certain amount of recurring a month, 10,000 a month. Um, I started this community with $0, opened up the doors, created the one ad, the same ad that I'm showing people how to create and do. And people come over and they pay $5 at the door and they get in and that's $5 and then it goes up. Right. So I hit 10K a month in the first let's see, that would be the first just probably in the first 35 days
Yeah.
from zero from zero, right, from the first
Yeah.
sign up. And when I got the first conversion, the very first one, it will always be the sweetest one, right? That is
Yeah.
the dopamine hit, because once I see one, you see that first conversion, you know you can do 5,000 of them, right? So and then you know you can do 50,000 of them. So to put things in perspective, I'm not going to say, yeah, you can do this. You have to be persistent, and you have to be consistent, right? You have to be. It is a level of consistency, but if you put in, your 2 hours every single day, 3 hours, whatever, then yeah, I don't see why you can't do it in 30 days. Be at 10K a month, and my, yeah, I mean, my goal right now is to be at 100K a month and by the end of the year, and I'm about halfway there, and it's been 4 months. So yeah, I'm showing you. That's what I'm showing everybody is
Right.
what I'm doing. That's all I do is I just show. This is just what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing to you guys. So it's been done to you. You know it works. Go do it to other people.
I love that
That's it.
because we do the same thing here, a little bit different, like with coaching. I'll actually coach somebody through a problem and show how it works. So they can see it's not, I'm just telling you about it, but it's actually, let me show you how coaching actually, someone at the end has an aha moment from the questions and going through stuff. And so that's just way more powerful than telling someone about it.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I love your method, and how you do that.
Yeah, I
Um,
appreciate it. And the other thing that I want to emphasize, and one of the biggest secrets of all is writing, having an affirmation, or having getting clear on what your goal is, right? And maybe you show that as well. Like I have a number I want to hit with my community, and every single right here in every day I have a list of affirmations, and I have all my numbers here, and I handwrite it every morning, every single day, and that aligns me for the day, and everything I do intentionally throughout the day, I can then release, and I know I'm on track. And
yeah,
honestly, I give most of the credit to that. You'll do it in your own way. We're all unique, and you take some of
yeah,
these skill sets, but it's not just leaning on somebody's skill set, and yes, model somebody, copy them, learn from them, but you're gonna still be you, and have your goal and have it in front of you every day, and you will hit. You read it every day and write it. It just works. It just
I
works.
just
It's worked
I
every
love
time for me in my life.
I love that you shared that because it's a rare thing that someone does that, and especially for the young people that they're just they don't realize this is real. This is how it works. And I have done that as well, where you write the goals, and I like to write them before I go to bed.
Mhm.
because I let my brain solves problems. I wake up and I'm like, whoa,
Yeah,
when I'm reminding myself about that. And so
so
I
true.
love seeing someone else that's being really successful sharing that with people. It's just they need to hear it more and more, and more and more people are talking about coaching. And you see these people that are young and they're making $100 million a year, and I got a coach for working out, I got a coach for diet, I've got a coach for uh, for my life, I've got a coach for business. And
Yeah,
so and it's great to see that
yeah,
you're sharing that.
yeah, yeah. I'm here to just be direct, honest. I show my back office. I show anything and everything anybody wants to see. I'm completely transparent.
Yeah, so
No privacy. I'm a full blown human, and I'm here to relate with everybody, and see how we can leverage AI, but also know that you're in a trusted, vulnerable place as well with my community, and the best thing I can do is just give away everything, give away the farm, and that keeps
yeah,
me accountable and one step ahead of you. So
yeah,
you can have it all. You can have it all. I hear everything up to this minute, and because in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to be creating more. So yeah,
yeah, I love that. I love that philosophy. And it's like people, I remember really popular authors were talking about when they were first starting to write, they'd be like, I don't know if I want to put all my good ideas in this book
yeah,
but then they found they put all their good ideas in there. And guess what? There was more that came.
better one. Yeah, it makes space
Yeah.
for, yeah, and it's true. Let it go. Let everybody, let people leverage, and that takes you 10x up every time you give it out. You advance. Yeah, nothing
Oh,
to
man.
protect.
So thanks a lot. And yeah, I'll let you know when we get this thing. We'll probably launch it, put it out tomorrow, like another version. It's live now, but it's recorded, and we'll just so your guys can watch it if they want.
Yeah,
And
definitely. Yeah, I'll share it with everybody in the community and
okay,
whatnot as well. A lot of
yeah,
good value on this, and I appreciate you getting me on and getting this stuff out of me,
yeah,
letting me
this is
talk.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah, and man, I'm so glad to be part of it, and I can't wait to funnel as many people as that want to learn about this your way and be part of your movement. I really see it as a movement. It's awesome.
yeah, and vice versa. I want to hear more about what you have going as well. So I look forward to that.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Mike.